Drew. How are you?
Wonderful.
I gotta ask. So you've been in two bangers this year. Was it, and now you've had 5 months off. Was the time off needed? Like, was that by decision? Because I know that in September you were looking for a fight. So.
Yeah, it was an unintentional time off because I couldn't find an opponent to say yes. I was looking for a fight in November, December since August, right? But in the political game of side of things where, people want things perfectly, they always want to fight up and all that stuff. I'm just really just willing to engage with anybody. And thank God the stars lined up, and we've got this fight with Bobby Green because we're probably going to have a third banger this year.
Right. Because it was pretty quick turnaround after that McKinney fight, and you took some damage. Do you let your body rest, or is it just kind of just get up and go?
I let the body rest, and I'm built for this game. I don't know if it's a Neanderthal genetics, but I don't take too much damage, or I seem to relieve swelling well. But my body is fantastic. I feel better at 34 than I did at 24, and that's why I'm just gonna keep this ball moving.
You've been calling for Bobby Green. You wanted it at Madison Square Garden, back at the Apex. How excited that you got Bobby Green and he said yes?
Very excited. As soon as I got that call that Bobby's the guy, it just perked me up. The training got intense, and unfortunately it's not in front of a crowd, but luckily with this Apex, we could probably hear what he's saying in the cage.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's probably the people's main event, to be honest. Like it's just one of those fights that like people circle and be like, this is the one. What do you think of the matchup?
I think it's speed versus power. I think Bobby's hard to hit. He's very evasive and creative. And then I bring that relentless durability, heart, and chin in the left hand. So I'm going to sling some leather at him, and if I hopefully just find that chin.
You probably don't have to worry about takedowns. So, is that something you're looking forward to?
Yeah, like in this game, you can't predict anything. Like I would love a stand-up war for 50 minutes, and I know Bobby Green is capable of that. But who knows? He's coming in with something with a plan for me, and I seem to turn people into wrestlers really quick. So he might shoot. Who knows?
3 bangers this year. What are you looking to next year?
Same. My goal is always 3 fights in a year, preferably more. But I just want to keep going. I kind of just dismissed this idea of, requesting ranked opponents and this and that. And, I just want exciting fights. And, I'm not trying to sneak my way up the ladder. I'm trying to make loud noises. And so I would never turn down an exciting unranked fight for a boring ranked fight.
So if you don't get a ranked fight, everyone's calling for that Paddy Pimblett fight. Is that something that you can maybe get next year?
No, UFC will not let me fight him. Like, let's be honest. We watched his last fight, and we know what I'm capable of. That would be a fun one. I just want to fight in London at that O2 Arena, right? So if Paddy says yes, I'm all for it. But we all know that we got Dana, UFC, and all those. They won't let that happen.
What do you think of that decision?
I got to go back and watch it again, but there's a lot of talking. But I guess my opinion on the entire matter is there's something to star power, in the judges' decisions, right? And we're watching like octagon control and effectiveness and all this other stuff. But man, the star power is something you got to also get over. So when you're fighting a guy as big as Paddy, you got to do more than just 5 more punches,
And then one final one for me, going back, Islam Makhachev beat Charles Oliveira for the belt. I just want your thoughts on that fight because you fought Islam, right? So just what do you think of his performance?
As expected. It's one of those things, once you're in the cage with that guy, you know what he's capable of. I was not surprised at all by that performance. And, he's there for a long time. I feel like not a lot of people know that answer, and so I'm here to fight for that rematch.
Thanks, man.
Hey, Drew. I'm curious if you're excited for that new dad like burst of energy that fighters seem to have, or do you feel like you might already have it a little bit?
Oh, I think I have punching power now. Wait until I get that dad strength. 2023, things are getting it messy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And plus, having I've been fighting to feed myself, but now that's no longer the case. And I'm excited to see what comes out from that.
And when Bobby came in here first thing, before we even said anything, he went on a very long, I don't want to call it rant, but explanation about USADA and all that happened. I'm curious if you have a take on, what he said about it, if you're worried at all that he is doping, or what's your take on that?
I mean, it's rough. Cross-contaminated supplements is a thing, and I've seen that. And I think Bobby made a mistake, but he didn't intentionally make a mistake. I don't think I'm fighting a steroided, chemically performance-enhancing Bobby Green. I think it was just an error, and he had to pay his punishment. But I don't think he did it intentionally, and I think he's a natural, clean fighter. He's been fighting for the longest time, so I'm not worried about it all. But these headlines where it's like you can get popped for something, right? So minute, and it's in a supplement, and it's a mistake. But now these headlines are PEDs, and now it follows you. And Bobby's gonna do his rants, and I'm just gonna say I trust Bobby, and I think he's clean.
Thank you.
Has a fighter ever said anything in the cage out there that's ever just made you laugh while the fights happen, or does that sort of stuff when the opponent's talking trash in there, does that get you going?
Yes. I mean, I'm here for the exciting fights, and that's why I want to fight Bobby. I know he's gonna talk, and I'm super eager to hear what he has to say. And the last guy, he was doing some dancing in the cage, like that was fun to watch. It doesn't bother me, nor does it provoke me. Like, I'm just here to have fun, and that makes it more entertaining. And unfortunately, I don't think it's gonna work in his favor.
And I guess the last thing for me, I know every fighter wants to go in there and get a quick finish, and get that performance of the night. But when you look at this card, when you look at your fight and the man across the cage from you, you have to easily say this is going to be the lead-in or the lead potential for fight of the night or performance of the night bonuses because of the two characters involved. Would you agree?
Yeah, well, whether I'm awarded it or not, I'm here to put a stamp on performance or fight of the night on every single time I'm in the cage, right? So I'm going in there, I'm taking risks, I'm putting my chin behind my hands. We're making fights exciting, and we'll see if I get bonuses. If not, I create memories.
Drew, thanks for taking the time again. You're a fan favorite for a reason. You always get up for fights. You always give it 100%. But with somebody like a Bobby Green that's more of a veteran, does that tweak the game plan to where it's more technique and you're kind of, a little more going to pull back, if you will, like for game planning when it comes to somebody who's just been in there, seen every type of style that you could bring?
What got me into the sport is performing martial arts for the public, and having another skilled veteran in front of me. Now we have to amplify what technique to perform, right? And the fun part about this fight is we both like each other, we both respect each other, we're both in here to have fun. And I think fighters that are trying to have fun in a fight let things come out more naturally and more excitingly. So yeah, I have a plan. I got technique that I need to work. I'm not going to come in and I got a tough man competition, right? But it's going to be exciting because I'm doing it against Bobby Green. Everyone loves watching these bad blood or these feuds or the trash talking, but unfortunately with those fights, man, they're so afraid to lose that really nothing comes out. But when you get two guys that really enjoy each other and get excited about the fight, then there's no chance this fight's going to be boring.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Just a fun one for me with the holiday season. Any memory you want to share about a good or horrible gift or a holiday memory that you have with you and your family?
Man, I think probably the most exciting memory has not happened yet, in the fact that I get to learn the gender of my child on December 30th, and that's a Christmas gift that I'm looking forward to opening.
Excellent. Thank you, sir, and good luck on Saturday.
Thank you so much, guys.
What are you hoping for?
I don't care either way, but my wife really wants a boy. So as soon as those blue balloons come out, then see the look on her face. So I think I'm just right behind her on that one.
Will you let your kid fight?
Oh man, I hope not. oh man, this career is rough and not like unforgiving and unrewarding. So hopefully they're good at like ball sports, so like the mother's genetics, and yeah, or be good in school, do something else. But man, I just support any passion, to be honest.
Hey, Drew. Yeah, Bobby Green was in here all fired up earlier, and one of the things he was talking about was waking up and smoking a backwood or a blunt even before breakfast, and he said he could smoke any UFC fighter under the table, regardless of the result in your match on Saturday with him. Would you rematch him to smoke him under the table?
No, he'll win that for sure. I'm a lightweight. Man, I couldn't, like, if I did it before breakfast, I don't even know if I'd be alive for breakfast. So.
He was saying he'd have like 3.5 grams.
I mean, I saw him on the Joe Rogan podcast. Like, yeah, I would not be able to keep up. So he wins that one.
You were saying about feeling better at 34 than before. So what are the best ways you can share for people in their 30s to level up from where they were physically in their 20s?
Keep the passion, the excitement, and the quest to improve, but use the intelligence that you have in your 30s, right? I feel like the 20s were all piss and vinegar and not a lot of intelligence. I just maintained the piss and vinegar, and I just supplemented it with a little bit more intelligence and experience.
Was that all off the cuff? That was amazing. It was nice.
I just pulled that out of my back pocket.
It sounded like a quote. That was good. Something that we've been asking other fighters coming in here earlier is, like, with the upcoming holidays as an athlete, you mentioned dad bods earlier, but what's your number one pro tip for regular people like us who might want to lose the weight they've gained over Christmas?
Be mindful, right? Like, it's the unfortunate thing that I have to do, right? But man, I eat some donuts. I'll go crazy. Like Christmas, I'm probably gonna stuff my face. You know, I sacrifice Thanksgiving, so we're gonna make it up in Christmas. But yeah, just be mindful and intentional and conscious. You know, it's on a Wednesday. Do we need the croissant, or do we gonna wait till Saturday or whatever? Just I think overall, peace of mind comes from being mindful of actions.
And what's the easiest way to get ripped abs like yours?
Unfortunately, not eating. Unfortunately, avoiding happiness. Like, I'm jacked right now, and I hate it. So I can't wait to put some pounds back on. But yeah, being shredded and happy seem to not coincide.
Have a happy holidays after this fight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Which is why I'm so glad Bobby accepted this fight, so we get to have Christmas. You know.
One follow-up for you. Bobby said he wants to fight Dan Hooker in Perth after this fight. If you win, and I know that Dan's a buddy of yours, but would you fight him in Perth?
You know, I think it's been a long enough time. Danny Hooker and I could probably sling it. Man, Perth is a long drive. And that's in February. There's a lot of variables. But yeah, I'm definitely open to fight Dan Hooker.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thank you.